Flounder is a flat-bodied marine fish that is very popular in cuisine. To catch flounder, fishermen often use traditional methods such as fishing, netting and trawling. Of these, netting is the most popular. Nets are often dropped near the shore or in areas with sandy bottoms where flounder hide. Fishermen use bottom nets or trawls to harvest fish, usually in the early morning or late afternoon when flounders come out to feed. To be effective, it is important to correctly identify areas with a lot of flounder and how to control the nets so as not to injure the fish. Catching flounder requires not only technique, but also patience and understanding of the behavior of this fish. In addition to using nets, another method of catching flounder is bait fishing. The bait is often carefully selected by fishermen, usually live bait such as shrimp, small fish or artificial bait with shapes and colors similar to the creatures that flounders like. Fishermen will drop bait into the area where flounder live and wait. Because flounder often hide under the sand or mud bottom, detecting them requires the sophistication of sensing the signal from the fishing rod when the fish bites the bait. In addition to manual methods, there is now the support of technological devices such as sonar and radar to search and determine the area where flounder live more accurately. These technologies make it easier for fishermen to catch fish, but at the same time require specialized equipment operating skills to achieve the highest efficiency. Regardless of the fishing method, maintaining sustainable flounder resources and protecting the environment is a very important factor. Therefore, the application of regulations and laws on wildlife protection, as well as reasonable fishing techniques, is necessary to maintain the balance of marine ecology. In addition to maintaining regulations on wildlife protection, fishermen also need to comply with reasonable fishing rules to ensure that flounder resources are not overexploited. One of the important measures is the application of reasonable fishing times and seasons. Flounder often have a breeding season in certain months of the year. So limiting fishing during the breeding season will help the fish have the opportunity to grow and maintain a stable population. In addition, applying sustainable fishing methods such as using nets with appropriate mesh sizes will help protect young fish. Avoid overharvesting and help maintain marine ecosystems. Fishermen's organizations and communities are also promoting the implementation of marine fisheries conservation and protection programs to minimize the impact of fishing on the habitat of marine species, including flounder. Finally, educating the community on the importance of protecting and sustainably developing fisheries resources is essential. Through awareness raising, fishermen will better understand the long-term benefits of protecting flounder, and can voluntarily comply with fishing and harvesting regulations to protect this resource for future generations. Furthermore, halibut fishing is not only a source of income for fishermen, but also contributes to the marine economy and fisheries sector of many countries. Halibut is widely consumed in domestic and export markets, especially in restaurants and seafood processing facilities. This increases the economic value of halibut, but also places a great deal of responsibility on maintaining sustainable supplies to ensure the long-term development of halibut fishing. Many countries have implemented strict fishery resource management measures. These measures include licensing fishing, monitoring the number of halibut harvested, and imposing regulations on the minimum size of fish allowed to be caught. These regulations help protect adult halibut individuals and ensure that juveniles can grow and reproduce. In the future, the application of advanced technologies such as aquaculture will be able to help reduce pressure on natural resources. Breeding halibut in an artificial environment not only reduces the exploitation of fish from the sea but can also provide a stable supply, helping to balance supply and demand in the seafood industry. However, these measures are only truly effective when implemented synchronously and with close cooperation between fishermen, environmental protection organizations and local authorities. Only when all parties work together can halibut resources develop sustainably and continue to bring long-term benefits to the community and the seafood industry. To continue to develop halibut resources sustainably, an important factor that cannot be ignored is the strengthening of international cooperation in the management and protection of fishery resources. International waters and areas with a lot of halibut often lie within the boundaries of many countries. So the application of common regulations and standards between countries is essential. Signing agreements to protect fishery resources and sharing information on the status of flounder populations will help countries monitor and control flounder fishing in overlapping areas. In addition, scientific research on the biology and behavior of flounder is also important in developing conservation and management strategies. These studies help fishermen better understand the reproductive habits, migration and habitat of flounder, thereby allowing them to adjust their fishing methods accordingly, avoiding disruption to the growth and development of this fish species. In addition, encouraging the development of flounder aquaculture models also contributes to reducing pressure on wild fish populations. Raising flounder in a controlled environment can help protect fingerlings and reduce overexploitation from the sea. However, aquaculture also needs to comply with environmental protection standards. Not pollute water sources and maintain long-term sustainability. In short, flounder fishing is not only a livelihood but also associated with the responsibility of protecting marine resources. The combination of science, technology and reasonable management measures will help maintain and sustainably develop this valuable resource for future generations. Next, an indispensable factor in maintaining the sustainability of halibut fishing is educating the community, especially fishermen, about responsible fishing methods. Training and awareness-raising programs for fishermen on the importance of protecting fishery resources and the negative consequences of overfishing are essential. Fishermen can learn about safer and more efficient fishing methods and understand the long-term impacts of halibut fishing on marine ecosystems. In addition, developing fishing models combined with ecotourism or marine protection activities can help create an alternative source of income for fishermen, reducing their dependence on overfishing of halibut. These models not only bring economic benefits but also contribute to protecting the environment and marine biodiversity. Ecotourism, for example, can promote the development of marine protected areas where flounder and other marine species can live and thrive without being harmed. To effectively protect flounder and other marine species, marine resource protection policies need to be strictly and consistently enforced. Measures such as fishing bans in sensitive areas, implementing regulations on restricted areas, and even implementing sea rest during spawning seasons can help flounder recover and thrive. Finally, the involvement of communities and environmental organizations in the management and monitoring of flounder fishing is extremely important. NGOs, scientists, and government agencies need to work closely to develop marine resource protection strategies that benefit not only flounder but also the marine ecosystem as a whole. Only by working together can we protect and maintain this precious resource in a long-term and sustainable manner. Continuing. The development of modern research and technology plays an important role in protecting flounder resources. Technologies such as satellite tracking, marine life identification systems and underwater sensors help scientists and fishermen monitor flounder populations more accurately. These technologies not only help determine the habitat of flounder but also help predict the migration, spawning and growth trends of this fish. Using the data collected from these technologies will help adjust management policies to be more effective, while minimizing negative impacts on the environment. Another important area in protecting flounder is the research and development of flounder strains that can reproduce and grow in aquaculture. Modern aquaculture methods can create favorable conditions for flounder to grow rapidly without having to harvest them from the wild. However, this farming also needs to be closely monitored to avoid risks such as invasive alien species and water pollution. This requires collaboration between researchers, authorities and communities to create safe and sustainable farming models. Furthermore, promoting community participation in activities to protect and restore marine ecosystems, including flounder protection, can create positive change. Community programs such as beach cleanups, coral reef restoration, or seagrass planting can help protect the habitat of flounder and many other marine species. Fishing communities can play a key role in these activities, not only in protecting fish stocks but also in protecting their own habitats. With all these measures in place, we can look forward to a more sustainable future for the halibut fishery, where fishers can maintain their livelihoods while protecting precious marine resources. Combining tradition and technology, science and community will create a comprehensive development model that protects both halibut and the marine ecosystems on which they depend. Second, support from governments and international organizations in implementing marine resource protection programs is key to protecting flounder resources. Policies and regulations need to be clear and strict, and there needs to be effective monitoring by competent authorities. National governments need to invest in research facilities and infrastructure, such as marine research stations, observation centers, and early warning systems for illegal fishing. National laws also need to be aligned with international agreements to protect flounder and other marine species from illegal, unsustainable exploitation. International organizations, such as the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, and wildlife conservation organizations, play an important role in setting protection standards and encouraging countries to implement international commitments to protect the sea. Strengthening transboundary cooperation in areas with migratory marine life is an important part of a global strategy to protect halibut. These organizations can also provide financial and technical support to developing countries to implement effective marine protection measures. In addition, developing initiatives to promote sustainable fisheries, including certification of sustainable seafood products, also contributes to the protection of halibut species. Sustainable seafood certification, such as the Marine Stewardship Council, MSC, will create incentives for fishermen and producers to comply with environmental protection regulations. These certified products not only attract consumers but also bring higher value in the market, encouraging fishermen to implement sustainable fishing methods. Finally, strategies to encourage the participation of stakeholders in the management of marine resources are important. Fishermen, local communities, scientists, environmental organizations, businesses and governments need to cooperate in comprehensive management plans for marine resource protection. This close coordination will help to develop reasonable and synchronous solutions to protect flounder as well as marine ecosystems, thereby creating long-term sustainable development for the fisheries industry and the community. Another important factor in protecting flounder is to develop research on climate change and its impacts on the habitat of this fish. Climate change is creating major changes in marine ecosystems, with negative impacts on fish species such as flounder, including changes in water temperature, ocean acidification and changes in ocean currents. Research on the impacts of climate change will help scientists better understand the threats to flounder and thereby propose solutions to minimize these impacts. For example, protecting important breeding areas and habitats can help flounder adapt better to environmental changes. Furthermore, protecting important ecological areas, such as coral reefs and seagrass areas, is essential. These areas play an important role in providing food and habitat for flounder. Protecting and restoring these ecosystems will benefit not only flounder but also many other marine species. The conservation of these ecosystems should be integrated into marine protection and natural resource management strategies, so that marine species can thrive sustainably. In addition, the establishment of marine reserves and controlled fishing areas is an important part of the strategy to protect flounder. These areas can help limit overfishing and create safe spaces for flounder and other species to thrive. Governments and environmental organizations need to provide financial and technical support to establish and manage these protected areas, and to enforce strict regulations on fishing in these areas. In addition, raising consumer awareness about choosing sustainable seafood products is also important. Consumers can contribute to protecting halibut by choosing seafood products that are certified as sustainable, thereby creating change in the seafood industry. Education campaigns on the importance of protecting marine resources will help raise public awareness, promote a culture of responsible consumption and environmental protection. Ultimately, the success of halibut conservation depends not only on official measures but also on public participation and awareness. Fishing communities, consumers, environmental organizations, businesses and governments all have important roles to play in developing a comprehensive and sustainable strategy for protecting marine resources. When all parties work together and take action, we can protect and sustain precious halibut resources for future generations moving forward. Innovation in marine resource management approaches is also important to protect flounder and other fisheries. Adopting ecosystem-based management strategies that focus not only on protecting individual fish species but also their entire habitats will help ensure the sustainability of marine species. Integrated coastal zone management, which combines fish species protection with broader marine environmental protection measures, will strike a balance between exploitation and conservation of marine resources. One important initiative is the development of community-based models of marine management. Fishing communities can be directly involved in the development of marine resource protection and management plans, giving them a greater sense of responsibility for protecting the resources they depend on. This model has been successfully applied in many places around the world, and can help raise awareness of resource protection as well as reduce illegal fishing. In addition, strengthening monitoring and control activities of illegal fishing is also an indispensable factor. Modern monitoring technologies such as underwater cameras, remote sensors, and fishing vessel tracking systems help detect and prevent illegal fishing. Authorities need to apply strong measures to handle violations, protecting the stability of flounder populations and marine ecosystems. In the future, creative solutions and continuous improvement in marine resource protection and management will be decisive factors to protect flounder and other marine species. The combination of science, technology, and community participation will create more sustainable marine protection strategies. Protecting halibut is not only beneficial to fishermen, but also to the entire marine ecosystem, helping to maintain the abundance and biodiversity of our oceans. As such, protecting halibut and other aquatic species is a task that requires the coordination and effort of all stakeholders. From fishermen, environmental organizations, to governments and the international community, when everyone works together and acts for a sustainable future, we can ensure that halibut and other marine species will continue to thrive and survive in our oceans. Moving forward, to make lasting changes in the protection of halibut and marine resources, there will need to be a strong investment in research and development of technological solutions. New technologies such as smart aquaculture, bioengineered aquatic habitat regeneration, or even the development of sensor systems that can monitor and protect halibut spawning areas can all play an important role in protecting fisheries resources. Research and application of these technologies can not only enhance halibut protection but also help to reduce the negative impacts of overfishing on marine ecosystems. Furthermore, the implementation of conservation strategies needs to be integrated with sustainable marine economic development. Industries such as ecotourism, seafood processing, and marine renewable energy, such as wind and wave power, can provide alternative sources of income for fishing communities, reducing their dependence on halibut and other fish species. Developing these industries not only helps reduce fishing pressure but also creates new economic opportunities, contributing to improving the lives of coastal people while protecting marine resources. Along with developing a sustainable marine economy, policies to support career transition for fishermen are also important. Retraining programs for fishermen to participate in other economic activities, such as ecotourism or seafood processing industries, can help reduce dependence on fishing and promote long-term development. Governments and international organizations can support these programs by providing funding, vocational training and other resources to help people change their livelihoods without affecting the marine economy. Finally, strategies to protect flounder and other aquatic species need to be flexible and adaptable to changing environmental and market conditions. Climate change, coastal development, and rapidly changing consumer trends can all pose challenges to the protection of marine resources. Management strategies therefore need to be periodically adjusted, based on the latest research and assessments of the status of flounder populations and their habitats. All of these factors, when combined in harmony, will create a robust marine resource protection system that will enable flounder and other aquatic species to thrive in the future. Protection is not just the responsibility of one country or one community, but a global responsibility to protect marine ecosystems and the valuable resources that the ocean provides. Next, an important factor in protecting flounder and marine resources is to maintain and promote international cooperation initiatives. Halibut species do not live only in the waters of one country. but many species move across international waters. So there is a need for close cooperation between countries in managing and protecting marine resources. International organizations such as the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, and environmental organizations can play an important role in creating common legal frameworks and guidelines for countries on the management and protection of flounder. International agreements can also help countries share data and experience in monitoring and protecting this species, thereby creating more effective and coordinated protection strategies. Furthermore, international cooperation initiatives can contribute to promoting the development of sustainable fishing methods. Countries can learn and apply protection measures, such as establishing marine protected areas and regulating the size and quantity of halibut that can be caught, based on successful experiences from other countries. Coordination among countries in the management and protection of migratory fish species, such as halibut, is essential to ensure the sustainability of fish populations and protect global marine ecosystems.